Alright guys, I've been wanting to do a YouTube video. I've been wanting to come back to YouTube, but this shit is so foul. It's so hard trying to remember to start this stuff, but I've been building on my vinyl collection for quite some time, especially in the past year. I've been wanting to do a vinyl vlog, so I figured that'd be a great comeback video. I have been wanting to come back to YouTube. I miss making videos. The only issue is I don't know what vinyls I want to show, because I have a lot. I guess I'll show my favorites, all the most important albums to me. I feel like this is a bad album to start the video with because some people love it, but a lot of people hate it. But personally, I fucking love it. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. That's 1000 gecs by 100 gecs. I didn't realize that it was gonna be inverted, so you can't really necessarily see this as 1000 gecs, but it's 1000 gecs. Yeah, I love this album. I got it from Urban Outfitters a while ago, I think 2 years ago. It's kind of silly that I collect vinyls because the majority of the music I listen to is electronic, which is like not the perfect genre for vinyls, but I'll showcase one album that I think is great for listening to on vinyl. This is also one of my favorite albums of all time. I Didn't Mean to Haunt You by Quadeca. If you're watching this video, you probably know that I am a huge Quadeca fan. I've been following him and his music for almost 6 years now, which is insane. I guess that makes sense because I remember starting high school, going to my first class, day one of freshman year, listening to Thank You Next from his album Voice Memos, just trying to get myself excited. And now I'm in my freshman year of college, which is another thing that has changed since my last video. It has really been a long time since I've last posted. But yeah, I'm in college now. I'm going to college for music. It's awesome. Didn't really think that I could find something so badass in Oklahoma. But yeah, really, really, really good album. Definitely in my top 3 albums. My favorite tracks are Fantasy World, Picking Up Hands, Born Yesterday, Knots. The whole album's so good. There's also some unreleased stuff, which has Dust Cutter, which ended up being the intro track to his new mixtape, Scrapyard. I missed out on getting From Me to You on vinyl, which was the album before I Didn't Mean to Haunt You. And he has not sold that shit again. He probably won't. And I want it so bad. Any prices that I find from resellers are like at least like 400, I think. And I'm not willing to pay that much. I think I've realized the way this video is gonna flow is I'll talk about one album and then I'll think of another album I have, and it'll just go on until I decide that's enough vinyls for one video. Just talking about From Me to You and how the resale prices are insane. But there is one album that is also in my top 5 albums, which is not intentional. I keep showing like all of my favorite albums right off the bat. But this is one of my favorite albums of all time, and they didn't sell many copies, so I kind of folded and spent a lot of money buying it from someone on eBay. This is By the Time I Get to Phoenix by Injury Reserve. It's the Smoky vinyl. I love it so much. It's such a good album, and it's not really an album I'd expect myself to love so much just by the sound of it, but Superman That, the second track on this album, literally might be my favorite song of all time. Outside is also one of the best intro tracks ever. I love it so much. It's gas. And then the one other vinyl that I remember I just spent a ridiculous amount of money on is from probably my favorite artist. I think I'm just gonna go in the Charli XCX's order of her discography of what I have, and then I'll show which one I spent the most money on, which you will know. If you were a fan of Charli XCX, you will know. But yeah, I'm gonna start with her discography. So we have True Romance. This album's not that great. I know there are some Charli XCX fans that love this album, and I respect it. It has a very specific sound to it, but for me, I kind of don't really fall in love with her discography until Number One Angel, I'd say. But with that being said, Take My Hand, the third song of this album, is potentially my favorite Charli XCX song. Something about it is fucking gas. I love it so much. And it doesn't get talked about enough. Like, not only do I think it is one of her best songs, but it's hands down the most underrated Charli XCX song. I don't have Sucker on vinyl. I want it because I want to complete her discography, but I think that album is kind of ass. And I don't have Vroom Vroom on vinyl either. That one is really hard to acquire. This next one I'm going to show is the one other vinyl I spent a ridiculous amount of money on. And it's probably my favorite vinyl I have. And it is the #1 Angel Pop 2 double LP. And I'm very, 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 very happy to have it. I absolutely love Lip Gloss. I think that's one of her best songs. Roll With Me is great. Dreamer's good. 3 AM kind of goes crazy as well. But Pop 2, man. It has Backseat, Lucky, which I think is her best ballad. Tears, I Got It. That was kind of the song that really got me into Charli XCX, I think. And then of course track 10, which I think most of the community would say is her like magnum opus. I believe after Pop 2 was her self-titled project, which I have right here. I think this is one of her coolest vinyls. I don't think I like this album quite as much as most Charli fans do, but it has Next Level Charli, which is one of her best songs. It has Click, which the ending of that shit is insane. One of my favorite moments in her discography. It has Official, which I lied. That is her best ballad. I think it's a lot better than Lucky. But yeah, it's also got Shake It, Gone, Warm, which I think is the most overhated Charli song. I think Warm is pretty vibey. I with Warm. Shout out Self-Titled. That's a solid project. Now, of course, we have How I'm Feeling Now, the first Charli album that I ever listened to. I think this track run, Pink Diamond, Forever, Claws, is one of the best 3-track runs. Yeah, Click 2.0, which it's a hot take, but it's one of my favorite Charli XCX songs. It is my favorite on this album. But Forever is also up there. I think that is one of her best songs as well. So yeah, my favorite Charli XCX album. Love it a whole lot. And now we're on to Crash, which is an album that I think deserves all the love it gets, does not deserve any of the hate it gets. And look at it, shit's cool. And like the back, that's so cool. I love this album so much. I think it's in the top 3 of her best albums. I know it's like not her most innovative work, but I mean, she does 80s inspired pop so well. The opening track, Crash, is so good. Good Ones, insane lead single. Constant Repeat, my favorite on the album. Baby is so good. Lightning is great. Yuck is awesome. Twice grew on me a ton. It's a great album. I love it so much, and I could talk about it forever. So that's it for Charli's discography. I did already order the 360 Brat exclusive Brat vinyl. I want to go back to whenever I was talking about some really good 3-track runs. First, I'm going to show what I think is my favorite 3-track run of all time, and also kind of my music obsession right now, which is m.i.a, Bamboo Banga, Bird Flu, Boys, all some of her best songs. But yeah, this is a great album. I literally listened to it just because I thought Paper Planes was a good song, and I didn't like it at all whenever I first heard it. I tried it again and again, like 3 times of listening to it. I'm like, I just don't get this. And then finally one night I listened to it and like I was addicted. Like whenever the beat comes in on Bamboo Banga, and like the art for this stuff too. Like, I love m.i.a. She's such a good artist, and I wish I had more people to talk to about her stuff, because it's so weird how like she's really well known for Paper Planes. Bad Girls also did pretty good. And then she's also known for her whack-ass feature on that Travis Scott song, which like, it's not good. I don't think it's that bad, but it's certainly not like a good representation of the kind of music she makes. And I wish that wasn't what so many people thought m.i.a was, because she is such a good artist. Which I do have one other album by her. I do want to get back to the 3-track run thing, but I have m.i.a, which is my favorite album by her. But back to some of the best 3-track runs of all time. I am going to show my favorite album of all time, which is The Turning Wheel by Spelling. I hate that it's flipped. It looks really weird. It looks really weird looking at its reflection, but it's a pretty awesome album cover. Y'all, I don't listen to a lot of music like this, but I can certainly say it is perfect. Little Deer, Always, and Turning Wheel, which are the first 3 songs on this album. It's such an insane 3-track run. It honestly might be better than that 3-track run on Kala. And like those 3 songs that I just said, they are like some of the highlights on this album. But Boys at School is another one of the songs that I would say is like tied for first place favorite songs of all time. Because that it gets me. It is so good. It is such a good song. And it's a pink vinyl as well. I think I want to look through my collection, see if there are a couple more that I want to showcase. But I'll try and do it quicker because I've shown my favorites. I've kind of left my little era of being a big Tyler, the Creator fan, but this is still also one of my favorite albums of all time, Igor. Yeah, I think my top 5 favorite albums of all time are The Turning Wheel by Spelling, which I've shown, I Didn't Mean to Haunt You by Quadeca, which I've shown. I've shown all my top 5 favorite albums. By the Time I Get to Phoenix by Injury Reserve, and 1000 Gex by 100 Gex, and then Igor by Tyler, the Creator. This album is so good. Tyler's awesome. I think I got this one at Barnes & Noble. I was really happy when I saw it. And then I also got Call Me If You Get Lost, which is my other favorite album by Tyler. I like Flower Boy, I like Wolf, but they don't quite hit as hard as Igor and Call Me If You Get Lost for me. These are some of my newer vinyls that I got here at a concert that I went to with my friend. And it was an Underscores concert. This is Fishmonger by Underscores. It's a cult classic in the online community that I'm a part of. I absolutely love how the inside of this vinyl looks. I love how the album sounds. I used to say that this was hands down my favorite Underscores album, like as soon as Wall Socket dropped. But some of the songs on Wall Socket have just aged so well that I think it might be tied. But I love Fishmonger. This is one of those albums where I like will not rank best to worst, which is something I love doing with all my favorite albums. But literally like all of it is just like the same level of just like they're good, they're bangers. I also got Fearmonger. This might be a hot take, but tracks 3, 4, 5, and 6 are like substantially higher on my ranking than the first 2, and then the outro track. I love Heck, I love Gunk, I love Lone Sharks, Tongue in Cheek goes crazy. I realized I probably need to do another one of these videos because there are still so many albums I want to show, but I'll do 2 more. This is an album I discovered about a year ago. It's Time and Place by Kira Bonito. I haven't opened it up yet. I don't know why, like I took a while to open it up and now I've just been like, oh, I don't want to open it. But this is a great album. It was one of those albums that I had to give it multiple listens before I really understood it. Only Acting has always been like a banger from first listen. I thought it was incredible. But the more I listened, Flyway, which is probably my favorite on the album now, Grow on Me, Make Believe, If I'd Known, Time Today, Dump. I think the whole album is just great and an absolute adventure. So yeah, I'm gonna finish off the video with this album that I just got recently, and it's Jubilee by Japanese Breakfast. I thought it would sound great on vinyl, and it does. Plus I just love like all the pictures for the album, so I had to get it. Both the Posing songs, Posing in Bondage and Posing for Cars, I would say are the best songs on this album. I know people love Posing for Cars, and I don't think people would argue with that, but Posing in Bondage, I don't hear a lot of people talking about, and I think it's great. But I also love Paprika, Be Sweet, Side Tackle, In Hell. The whole thing is so good. There are no skips on this album. I covered a good chunk of my collection. I think I want to do another video at some point. I think content creating in general is really fun. So hopefully I can come up with a few ideas. I'd like for 2024 to be a return to YouTube, but I kind of never know, especially being a college student now. Just know that it's been on my mind and I'd love to make more videos, so don't be surprised if you see some more videos coming from this YouTube channel. If you got this far into the video, thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all tapping in, checking out my collection. If I've shown any of your favorites, I'd love to know, or some of the favorite vinyls that you have from your collection. But yeah, real shit. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys soon. With being at music college, I've had a lot of shit that I've been working on. I'm hoping to be able to share some shit sooner than later, but I'm making sure not to rush it. I'm trying to enjoy the process and not focus so much on the destination. But it's just been so long since I've released, and I've got so much that I want to share. But anyways, keep an eye out for that, for whenever it may be. I appreciate you a whole bunch, and I'll see you guys next time.
Try to promise myself security, I'll run away. Isolate myself from what I love because I felt this way. Try to tell them out, I close my hands, it's tuning, time to pray. Please don't run away and leave me here this way.